Hello YouTube, my name is Parker and welcome back to Radical Dreamers. In the last episode...
Do it, Sarge, kid says. Putting some matches in my hand, we're gonna blow it up. I don't know about this.
Do it.
I don't know, really. Suddenly, I hear the sound of a fuse burning. Kid's already lit the bomb.
So we started up the game, we went through, got attacked by some piranhas, found a few rooms, talked to a head for a while, blew it up, and now we're walking through another hallway. At the moment, we're gonna head to... Oh, ahead of me, I hear a kid come to a sudden stop. We're gonna head somewhere else in the mansion for now, and see what's there. What's wrong? I ask in a whisper. I look over, only to see kid pointing down the dark hallway. Squinting my eyes, I try to look for something. After a while, I start to see some sort of a white mass a ways ahead of us. Also, real quick, I talked about this more in my most recent Neo The World Ends With You video. Hopefully this is coming out after that. I got a new light behind my camera, and so you might notice that looking different on me. I'm also using a different microphone today. So I'm curious, I want you guys to know, is the light too bright? Because I can turn it down a bit. Does it look better if I make it a little warmer or a bit cooler? I'm not a big fan of the cool one. I think right here is probably a good one. And does the microphone sound better? Does it sound worse? You know, I'm still experimenting with this. So just, let me know in the comments how everything looks and sounds. What is it? I ask, readying my knife. And then, as if reacting to my voice, it starts to quickly scurry toward us, growing taller and taller as it approaches. It's a skeleton! Oh crap, okay. Quick, what do we do? Ram it. Hoping to catch it off guard. With a hollow clatter, the skeleton comes toppling down to the ground, ribs fly everywhere as its spine breaks in two. I think you've had enough, kid shouts, looking over the crumbled heap of bones. Suddenly, as if somehow reacting to her taunts, the skeleton's remains begin to stir once again. I back away in shock as the skeleton's torso starts to prop itself up with its left hand. Its right hand then grasps its dislodged skull and holds it up, staring straight at us. What the? Suddenly, the skeleton hurls its skull at me with blinding speed. What do I do? Dodge. I do my best to dodge the incredibly fast-moving skull. I've managed to dodge the skull. However, looking behind me, I see that it struck Kid instead. Oops. Bollocks, she shouts, slapping me in the face. Magil quickly slides over to the skull, smashing it under his feet. As soon as this happens, the skeleton falls to the ground, now nothing more than a lifeless heap of bones. Alright, let's go, says Kid, after vengefully scattering the remaining bones everywhere. I really think I'm starting to get the hang of this whole fighting thing. I'm barely hurt at all. You've got a thing or two to learn, but you're getting there, mate. Kid's mischievous eyes sparkle as I glance at her for a moment in the dim moonlight. I set off down the corridor with her, ready for what's next. Wait a sec, what's that? I bend down and pick up a small leather sack. Looking inside, I find a small bottle filled with a clear liquid. Well, go on, mate. You found it, you drink it. I hesitantly go... Don't drink weird liquids off the ground. Oh, it healed us. Never mind. Want some, kid? Oh, sorry, it's all gone. Continuing on through the passage, we eventually come to a branch. We see an upward staircase as well as a stone archway. Okay, so we've been through the archway. Did not go well. We're going to go up the stairs. Maybe there's something in the archway. I follow Kid up this narrow set of stairs, hoping not to lose my balance. In front of us, paths extend in three directions. To the left lies a dark corridor. Right leads out to the terrace. This path also continues on ahead. The right, I think, is the direction we came from, right? Something is telling me to go down the dark passageway, but I kind of want to go left instead first. We'll go left first. We continue through the passageway. After a while, we arrive at a beautifully decorated set of double doors. Enter them. What lies beyond the doors? This seems to be Viper Manor's ballroom. Beautifully decorative ornaments rest on a large table in the center of this huge hall. Rows of huge pillars are lined up on both sides, adorned with sculptures of birds and various other animals. At the far end of the room sits a gigantic organ taking up the entirety of the wall. Its pitch-black aura beckons us. A countless number of candles provide a soft, flickering luminescence to the room. Everything around us shimmers in the dim candlelight. Various portraits have been hung high on the walls, depicting all sorts of well-dressed people. From what I gather, they are high-quality oil paintings. They all have a similar sort of morbid gaze in their eyes. Who could these be? Lynx's relatives, maybe? Of these, a portrait of a young lady in a pink dress catches my eye. Wait, what was that? I swear she looked at me just then. Uh-oh. Come on, Sarge. Time to put away the ghost stories. It's my imagination acting up again, I tell myself. It was probably a trick of the light, caused by a flickering candle or something. The oil's glossy finish distorted the image for a second or two. Yeah, that's what happened. But I don't know. This room's bloody strange. Kid sees it too. She has to have seen it. I suggest we look elsewhere, Maggle says suddenly. Kid and I offer no objections. Suddenly, Kid comes to a stop. Shh. I stand as stiff as a pole with my ears wide open. Before long, I hear it too. Uh-oh. Footsteps. Somewhere in this huge, dark labyrinth, something's out there. Does it know we're here? It's louder now. It's coming for us, I'm sure of it. Oh my god, it's right here. Oh, it's a griffin. Shivers run up my spine as I stare at the atrocious fusion of a lion and an eagle, easily twice as tall as me. It looks like it hasn't taken notice of us yet. What am I supposed to do? Try and hide. Aw, shucks, you're no fun. Come on, kid, hurry. Kid reluctantly hides with me behind a corner. I squat down next to her, patiently holding my breath. Maggle is nowhere to be seen, probably already hidden in the shadows. I hear it approach from around the corner, flopping its wings wildly and billowing smoke from its nostrils. I can feel its immense body heat as it slowly draws closer and closer. Suddenly it stops moving. Something's not right. It knows we're here. It raises its head and surveys the area. Oh no, we've been discovered. As its eyes become fixed directly on me, it stretches its wings out, readying itself for an attack. The griffin lets out a blood-curdling screech. All I can do is stare at it in fear, unable to move a muscle. Before I can even unsheath my knife, it starts to flap its wings viciously, conjuring a tremendous gust of wind. I'm knocked clear off my feet, banging my head up against the wall. Sarge, you okay? My body aches from head to toe. I struggle to ignore the pain as I hastily get back up. I bend down to grab my knife. As I stand back up with it in my hand, I suddenly realize the griffin has already cornered me off. It stands no less than a few feet in front of me, its enraged red eyes glowing like ember. What am I going to do now? Hit the deck? The griffin's wings flare up, coming at me for a swatting attack. The moment I go down, I go to duck down low, I see its wings graze the air just inches above my head. That was such a close call. I quickly get up and ready myself for what's next. Trying to break free of that ferocious, visceral gaze, I suddenly remember the knife I'm holding and grip it tight. Protect myself. Probably not the best option. I take a moment to duck out of the action and catch my breath. Sarge, get your ass back here! I look up to see Kid squaring off with the beast, landing an uppercut directly in the base of its right wing. Her blow was well placed, adding injury to an already opened wound the griffin had suffered. It reels backwards, screeching in pain. It's now or never, I tell myself. I sneak up on the griffin from behind and trying to stay within its blind spot. But then, all of a sudden, the griffin snaps around, billowing its scalding breath down on me. What am I going to do now? Ram it. I start sprinting toward the griffin, hoping to bash it with all of my strength. That was not a good idea, was it? As I come in close, it swings at me with one of its claws. Yep. The razor-sharp talons tear across my torso. Pulling my shirt down over the wound, I try to ignore the pain and regain my focus. Trying to break free of that ferocious, visceral gaze. Okay, yeah. Attack. Quickly switching my knife to a backhand grip, I swing at the griffin's neck with all my rage. I send my knife arching through the air, hoping to connect with raw flesh. It reels back in pain. I back away as I watch the blood start gushing from its wound. Sarge, move! Magill's thundering voice booms from behind. That was not Magill's voice I gave him. Not knowing what to expect, I immediately hit the deck. Suddenly from above, a blazing streak of red shoots through the air, straight into the heart of the griffin. Its body bursts into flames, it rises up on its hind legs, screeching in pain. The beast tramples around madly, now a crazed mess of rage and agony, then suddenly, regaining its wits, it starts to charge furiously at me. Okay, jump out of the way. I instinctively leap back, and not a moment too soon. I barely miss a swing from one of the griffin's log-like legs. Trying to break free of that ferocious, visceral gaze. Yeah. Attack it again. Come on. Yep. Okay, we hit it again. The griffin starts to slowly move in on me one step at a time. Then suddenly it stops. With a blank look in its eyes, it stumbles a bit and comes crashing to the ground with a huge thud. We killed it? Yeah, we did. Phew, you okay, mate? Yeah, I'm not bad. I've got some bruises here and there, but nothing too serious other than the gash wounds all over my torso. Oh, are you kidding? I kicked that thing's ass so bad I didn't even know it. It didn't even have time to say its prayers. Yeah, we did pretty good back there, didn't we? You got a thing or two to learn. But you're getting there, mate. Kid's mischievous eyes sparkle as I glance at her for a moment in the dim moonlight. I set off down the corridor with her, ready for what's next. We leave the ballroom, heading back through the passageway. After a bit of walking, we come to a three-way split in the path. To the right is a set of stairs leading down, while a narrow passageway on the left leads off into the darkness. Yeah, let's go down the left. We head down the path. After a while, it ends at a stained wooden door. Go in or turn back? Let's go in. Guess this is the study. This huge room is faintly lit by the moonlight, shining in through a tall window. In the back of the room stands a large, ornately decorated desk. Row after row of bookshelves house thousands of thick, dusty books. A painting is hung on the rear wall, sharing space with various exotic curios. I guess examine the desk. I walk over and open a drawer with the I walk over and open a drawer in the mahogany desk. The drawers contain writing materials and documents arranged in an orderly fashion. Unfortunately, they don't seem to contain anything worth mentioning. But then, a small picture in the drawer catches my eye. It's a portrait of a friendly-looking girl with a faint smile on her face. I hold it up, wondering who it could be. It's probably Lynx's adopted daughter, Kid says, looking over my shoulder with a nose crinkle. Jesus Christ, dude, easy. Suddenly, we start hearing footsteps coming this way. Though they aren't that loud, they boom like a thunder in the night. Kid and I jump up. Magill swiftly conceals himself in the nearby shadows. Behind the door, probably. Kid and I quickly hide behind the door with our backs pressed against the wall. I hold my breath as the door creaks open. A quivering candlelight spreads in through the doorway. However, whoever opened the door doesn't seem to have any intention of entering the room. Okay. I thought I'm going to give him like a thought I heard something. No reason for anybody to be in here, though, since the master is away. Still, with those poor southerners on the move, it's better safe than sorry. Okay, that's interesting. Because Porre is actually one of the towns in Chrono Trigger. Where is that on the map? Hold on a minute. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Let me pull up a... I'm going to pull up a map real quick. Let's see here. Chrono Trigger map. I'm curious to see where Porre is. Where is Porre? Okay, Porre is right there. And if it's to the south, there's a lot of places it could be. I wondered if we're in Magus's castle. I guess it's not impossible, but it's a little off more to the southeast. Porre is pretty much to the south, though. So there's a lot of places that it could be. It's, like I said, it's been quite a while since I played Chrono Trigger. Anyway. Very interesting that that's the first one I've noticed of some actual, like, location. I wonder what year it is. The door... I almost called it the chrono. The door closes softly, blanketing the room in darkness. Once again, the voice becomes more and more distant as the footsteps fade into silence. Still, we wait without moving a muscle. So, Porre is up to something, Magil mutters, emerging from the shadows. Porre is a large country governing the southern continent. I hear it's a pretty well-developed and fairly prosperous place. What would they be after in these outlands? Surely not the frozen flame. Interesting. No matter how valuable it may be, in the end it's just a jewel, a piece of rock. How valuable could it really be? Probably it's not. Ahead of me, I hear a kid come to a sudden stop. What's wrong? I ask in a whisper. I look over, only to see Kid pointing down the dark hallway. Squinting my eyes, I try to look for something. After a while, I start to see some sort of white... Uh-oh. No! It's another skeleton! Okay. It's a skeleton. What do we do? Ram it. Just like last time. And then it's going to throw its skull at us, I think. Yep. Let's catch it again. I nimbly catch the skull in my hand. Smash it onto the floor. I keel down to the ground and raise the skull high above my head. Then with all my might, I hurl it down to the ground with blinding speed. As soon as I do this, the remains of the skeleton crumble lifelessly to the ground. Kid runs up to the pile, scattering the bones everywhere. Relieved, I crawl back a ways, staring at the shattered skull before me. Now you've had enough, Kid says. You okay, mate? Yeah, okay, we've already read this. Do we get another potion? Nope, no potion that time. We leave the study, retracing our steps through the dark passageway. Finally, the passage comes to a three-way branch. I kind of want to go back into the study, though. Retrace our steps. I want to go back in there. I wanted to see the rest of the room. So what is going on in Porre? Is it Porre or Porre? Because it's got an E at the end. Come on, mate. We don't have time for this. Randomly searching a place as big as this is stupid. We need to get a move on. This kid says, irritated. She's right. I suppose if we keep on dawdling, it'll be morning before we know it. Okay. So that's pretty much everywhere. Let's head toward the terrace again. After continuing on through the passageway for a while, the terrace comes into view on the right. I take a deep breath in fresh air and hoping to calm my senses. Let's continue. After a few moments, we come to an old rusty door on the right. Kid quietly presses her ear against the door. Quiet as a church mouse. No one's there, mate. Yep, open the door. And then we'll go down the hallway the rest of the way. What's with all this junk? It must be a storeroom or something. Oh. It seems like this is the inner mechanics of a clock tower. However, the gears look old and rusted, and cogs are spinning randomly without connecting up with their proper teeth. I doubt the clock's still in use today. The room seems to be currently used as a storage area. A large object catches my attention off in a far corner of the room. It's too dark over there to see what it is, though. Do not touch anything out of the ordinary, Maggle says abruptly, sending a sudden shock down my spine. However, just as he says this, I see Kid emerge from the shadows, dragging the large object into the middle of the room. It's a large antique sword of some kind. We've got no use for that old thing, Kid. All it'll do is slow us down. Besides, we probably wouldn't even get much money for it. I reckon it's worth a lot to right by ya. Like an antique collector or somebody. Sulking Kid quietly lays the sword down. What do you want? I look around, startled. That was definitely not any of our voices. Kid and Maggle immediately take position, focusing their attention toward the source of the voice. Who's there? Who is there? A figure suddenly appears out of the darkness. It seems to be a short old woman with a large hood over her head. Although fully covered, it's obvious she's quite old. Oh, it's just some old hag, Kid says. Maggle's sharp gaze on the woman remains unchanged, however.
What an energetic young lady. You haven't come here this late in the evening to drop in on some friends, I'd imagine.
I glance at Kid. Perhaps you have some score to settle with the master... Oh,
perhaps you have some score to settle with Master Lynx.
My heart jumps. This is definitely not good. Will she warn the rest of them about us? Tell her the truth. Let's see what happens. Kid's eyes narrow. If we did have a score to settle with that bastard, what's it to you?
Heh, just as I expected.
The old woman cackles in amusement.
Children. They're always so interesting like that. So imaginative, yet so predictable.
What are you talking about, old lady? Uh-oh.
Oh, it's already been 4 or 5 years, I would gather, according to what I was told. One night, a young thief came to the manor looking for trouble. The thief was a little girl about 10 years old.
I like this music. This is definitely, Mitsuda. Surprised, I glance at Kid. There's a trace of an ice-like radiance in her eyes. Staring at her makes me feel like it's suddenly dropped below freezing in here. Unfazed, the old woman continues her story.
The girl was an orphan. She set off to face Master Lynx all alone, hoping to avenge the girl who had cared for her like a big sister. But, after all, she was all alone. Outnumbered and overpowered, she was eventually defeated and captured by Master Lynx's henchmen. As an ally, Master Lynx can be quite an asset. However, as an enemy, he can be one of the most fearsome men alive. If not for a friend who sneaked in and secretly rescued her, she surely would have perished.
From what I've heard, this mysterious figure who could allegedly slip in and out of the shadows was the subject of...
From what I've heard, this mysterious figure who could allegedly slip in and out of the shadows was the subject of many whispers throughout the manor, long after this incident had come to pass.
Not moving a muscle, I try to look for Magil. He's nowhere to be seen. I can only guess he's sporting one of those trademark expressionless faces somewhere off in the darkness.
The inhabitants of Viper Manor don't condemn the unfortunate, because no one can win all the time. However, from time to time, the goddess of fate has been known to cast down those who have too much good luck, throwing the cogs of time out of order. It's not wise to try and stand against fate, continuing to repeat one's mistakes time and time again.
The old woman continues, staring straight at Kid, smiling sweetly.
If you want to steal the jewel, and if you really want to beat him, you too must give up You too must give up your most valued possession, kid. As long as you cling to it, the hands of your clock will never budge. They'll stay frozen, trapped in the distant past.
Who the bloody hell is this old hag?
Me? Oh, I'm just an old lady. Pay me no mind. Thank you for listening to this old maid for such a long time. I certainly hope I haven't delayed you at all. But before you leave, which one of you...
With that, the old woman looks in my direction.
Ah, yes. You look like you've got a bit of a scrape there. Won't you let me have a look at it?
What should I do? I don't know whether to be petrified or comforted. Yes. The old woman clasps her hands together, bowing her head. She mumbles a few words in a low tone. Suddenly, a gentle pale blue light surrounds my body, filling me with a strange warmth. Wow, look at that. My wounds are being healed before my eyes. It feels as though there's some sort of soft music being played all around me, putting me in a strange serenity. When I come around, the woman is gone. Hello? Hello, lady, says Kid, relentlessly looking around. However, there's no trace of her. All signs of her presence are gone. Wonder what was up with that old hag. Looking around, I can't help but wonder what she was talking about. With all that talk about a prized possession and everything. Let's get our asses out of here. This place is giving me the creeps, says Kid all of a sudden, already headed for the door. Hey, wait up. As I catch up with Kid, she gives me a friendly poke in the ribs. Humph. Ain't no fair you were the only one who got healed. Very interesting. So I wonder who the woman that she thought of as a sister was. Proceed to the right. Proceeding ahead on the path, we come to a staircase going up, and a firm-looking set of doors on the left. There better be treasure here. The smell of gold's thick in the air, mate. Ooh. Door first. Just like I thought. Locked, Kid says after jiggling the handle. Frustrated, she kicks the door. This might slow us down, but sure as bloody hell won't keep us out. Well, unless we find the key, there's nothing we can do, Kid. Let's get to it, then. I bet Lynx has got it stashed up in his room somewhere. The bastard. Unable to do anything, we leave to look elsewhere. Maybe we need to go back to his room, then. Let's check the stairs first. With Kid in the lead, we ascend the narrow staircase. The cracked stone stairs seem to endlessly twist upwards. It feels as if we're heading up to a scaffold to be executed. Atop the staircase, an old but solid door waits for us silently. This damp place fills me with a feeling of dread. There's a faint voice coming from the other side of the door, says Kid. I fear the worst. Maybe we should check somewhere else, I say. What's the matter, you chicken? She says while glancing at me. I can tell by the sound of her voice that she isn't feeling much better about this than I am. There's something wrong about this place, and we all know it. I'm gonna save. And then we're gonna open the door. It's a small room, one you'd find in a stone tower. It's empty, and I can't find a single window in it. What the hell kind of room is this? Although she's trying to hide it, I notice a shiver running down Kid's spine. There may be something of use here. Let us search more closely, Magill says quietly. You really think we'll find something? Humph. Kid proceeds to the middle of the room while I examine the walls and floor. The stone floor is filled with countless scratches, covered by splotches of a dry, dark ink. Hey, Magill, would you come over here, please? Something is carved into the wall here. I think it's an inscription of some sort. Magill kneels down in front of the wall and examines the writing. Looking closer at it, it appears to be written in blood. Indeed, this text has been worn down with age. Most of it is unreadable. Here's what I can make out. Won't let longer... Is it dragoons need the enchant sword order to proof? Okay, something won't last much longer. Something dragoons need the enchanted sword in order to proof. Oh, that's the sword we saw, isn't it? Because we saw that sword. So we need a sword for dragoons. Without any warning, this door slams shut. We stand up, taken by surprise. Then suddenly, a low rumbling starts to fill the room. What's happening? Kid shouts, looking around frantically. What's that above us? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. We should probably... What now? There's no time to lose. Break through the wall? There has to be a way out of here. We start ramming up against the walls, however, the stone mesh holds tight. This isn't working. The ceiling is getting too close. The blade is sliced into my neck. What are we going to do? Bash the wall. Oh, wait, no, There has to be at least one or two. Forget it, Sarge. We don't have time. Okay. I feel a flash of pain through my left temple. I stumble to the ground as I press against the side of my head, trying to stop the blood from gushing out. Sarge! Kid's screaming fades slowly away into the distance as I lay there stunned. The deep redness overcomes me, and we are dead. Might try that again. And so, I died, yep. Hold on. Let me set up my fast forward button. Alright, here we go. So we can fast forward through this now. Okay, yeah, we've already done this one. Oh, wait, we're already here. The silence is deafening. We should investigate elsewhere, yeah. Proceed to the right. Proceed ahead to the stairs. Enter. And so this time I'm going to try to break down the door. Alright, I'm going to try to break down the door now. And hopefully that'll have a better result. Try to ram the door. Kid flies like an arrow, ramming against the door. Her small body bounces back. The door is far too heavy. Bollocks. Magiel streaks across the room like a hurricane, dashing against the solid oak. The door creaks, but holds tight. My turn. I ram into the door with all my strength. Ah! A heavy shock shoots through my body, but the door doesn't budge an inch. Why don't we use magic? The rumbling continues to get louder and louder, reminding us of the rusty blades eager to greet us. Sarge, Magiel, come on, together. Yes, do it. The door hinge gives. We stumble outside, barely escaping certain death. There we go. Behind us, we hear the gut-wrenching sounds of the blades meeting the stone floor. I watch the morbid scene in a daze, gasping the huge breaths of air. Finally, the grinding sound fades away. It seems the ceiling has stopped. Damn that Lynx, toying with us like that. So this is the torture chamber. I wonder how many of the Acacia... Acacia Dragoons it is claimed, Magiel whispers. Who, I ask? The Acacia Dragoons. They were once an elite force serving General Viper, a powerful man who used to rule the western territory of Gersbuel. They were defeated more than 10 years ago, by the very hands of Lord Lynx. By the looks of things, we have apparently found their resting place. Oh, so that's what that was talking about. Who cares, says Kid as she stands up. Generals and knights and everything, it sounds like some old bedtime story. Magiel shrugs his shoulders in silence, and we start down the stairs, eager to get away from this awful place. So that sword that we found. Don't think that there's much use to that. We can't open this, can we? No. So we need to go back and find the sword, and we need to find the key in Lynx's bedroom. Open the door. This goes to where we found the old lady. I'm going to fast forward through this because I think, yeah, we already saw this. Proceed to the right. No, wait, that's the wrong way. Yep, we need to go toward the terrace. No, not the hallway. Oh, that's fine. Toward the study. Let's go to the study. Is this where we found it? Yep, no, there's nothing here. Okay. The ballroom isn't going to be super useful, I don't think. Let's descend the stairs. We've descended the staircase. To the left lies a huge stone archway. Yeah, okay. We have nothing for the archway yet. I don't want to go in there just yet. Lynx's adopted daughter. Head down the staircase. Continue through the passageway because we need to go to Lynx's bedroom. Because there's apparently a key in here that we need. Lynx's quarters. I sure hope that key's in here somewhere. Bet that mirror could tell us where it is, Kid says, removing its large silk cloth. Hold on, I gotta check the time real quick. I have to get going in a little bit, but we're gonna get through this part first. The dark mirror looms before us like a still lake on a moonless evening. Is there something you wish to know? The Venus statue's reflection asks. Treasure vault key is, yes. If you know where the key to the treasure vault is, could you please tell us? The mirror's surface begins to ripple. The whirling smoke soon takes the shape into picture of a large room decorated with rows and rows of books. Oh, it is there. Okay. In a beautiful womanly voice, the mirror responds, the key you seek, as you see before you, rests within this room, toward the rear of this great sanctuary of knowledge. Within a large purple book, you will find the item you so desire. The image slowly fades and returns to a normal reflection. The spirit has apparently moved to another mirror, Magill says. Okay, let's head for the study. Oh, as I head for the door, I suddenly get the feeling I'm being watched. I come to a stop and look around. Then, suddenly, a faint whisper reaches my ears. Be careful. They know. Whose voice was that? It wasn't any of ours. The mirror, it wouldn't double-cross us, would it? Kid heads out the door. Bolting down the corridor, I frantically chase after her, easily as eager as she is. Interesting. Very interesting. But I'm going to have to leave this episode here. Very interesting. Let's see what's going on. Looks like there's a lot more going on here. So we're going to have to see in the next episode. If you liked this episode, like I said, I have to go somewhere in a little bit, so I can't continue this one. If you like this episode, be sure to leave a like, comment, and check out some of the other videos on the channel. We are currently playing through Radical Dreamers, which is this. Neo, The World Ends With You. Nier Replicant. From time to time, I'll bring my mom on and we'll play Dragon Quest XI. I stream over on Twitch, and we're currently playing through Metroid Prime and Beautiful Joe. And if any of that sounds interesting to you, then come check it out. And I hope to see you there sometime. Bye.